Hi, we're Quentin Curious Volumes. My name is James. That's Louise. Today I want to talk about what I'm going to read in the month of March, which has already started. And I have already started my March TBR with Bleak House by Charles Dickens. The bleakest of Dickens novels, maybe not. But, I've been talking about this since I think my very first video. I said, I'm going to read Bleak House this year, guys. I'm doing it, and it's good. The last Dickens I read was David Copperfield, which compared to Bleak House is a much more kind of congenial read. It's all from one person's first person perspective, very kind of a welcoming narrator, a real flow to it. This is more experimental for a Victorian novel. It has some chapters are first person narrative and some are second person present tense narrative, which is kind of unusual. And but those chapters will take you into different places. It's sort of a wandering consciousness that will observe things going on in different levels of London society. So that's Bleak House. And of course, since it's Dickens, it has lots of, eccentric English characters that you meet and who expound upon, deportment or birds or something like that. But a lot of fun. Also, another one that I've been talking about for a while is Within a Budding Grove. So this will probably this will definitely have to come after Bleak House. March, you probably know, is sometimes called March of the Mammoths here on BookTube, so people will read long books. Obviously, Bleak House is going to count for my mammoth. Within a Budding Grove, that's a short little thing, and only like 700 pages, so it doesn't count as a mammoth. But if I get through both of these this month, I will be satisfied with that. Then I have a couple of other things that I want to talk about. One of them is Michael K. Vaughan, or the lich that controls and dominates him, has ordered him to read John Buchan's The 39 Steps this month for Roger's Cheap Old Book Club. I think I'm going to join in on that. The 39 Steps is a classic early spy novel. It's relatively brief and it's in the public domain, so I got a copy off Project Gutenberg to read on my Kindle, and I'll enjoy reading that, I think. But that is Michael K. Vaughan and Roger's Cheap Old Book Club. I suppose if you're really perverse, you could go and buy rare first editions of all the Roger's Cheap Old Book Club books and make it into Roger's punishingly expensive old book club. That would be fun. If I had more money, maybe I'd do that. So another March event, I guess it's March and April, is Rome is where the heart is, or Rome for the holidays. I forget which one. I'll call it Rome for the holidays because that's probably wrong. Where people are reading Roman books and books of Roman history. I got this one in my last book haul from Piedmont Books and More. That is Lucretius's On the Nature of Things. I've had copies of this before in my life. I've never read it, but it certainly looks good. I'm going to read to you from the back. It doesn't have spoilers. It's not really a spoilerable book, but I'll read a little bit from the back. Lucretius's poem On the Nature of the Universe combines a scientific and philosophical treatise with some of the greatest poetry ever written. With intense moral fervor, Lucretius demonstrates to humanity that in death there is nothing to fear, since the soul is mortal, and the world is governed by mechanical laws of nature and not by gods. And that by believing this, men can live in peace of mind and happiness. So that sounds pretty good. Well worth the $2.50 I spent on it. And then another Roman book, not really a Roman book, but another book that I hope to read. This is kind of a quaint, curious volume. It's a Chronicle of the Last Pagans by Pierre Chuvin. This is, Chuvin was a French classical scholar or historian of late antiquity, and this is about the replacement of paganism by Christianity in the Eastern Roman Empire. You know, in the short histories of Rome, it's like, well, Constantine said we're all going to be Christians now. How would that go? How would that go in the modern world if the president said, yeah, we're all going to be worshippers of Thor tomorrow? Obviously, it's going to be a bit of a ragged uptake, to say the least. So this is a book that tells some of the history of that. I became aware of this because a band that I like a lot called the Mountain Goats, their lead singer he had a degree in classics, I think, when he was in college, and he wrote an entire album based on his reading of this book. The album is called Songs for Pierre Chuvin, and it's really good. It's not for everyone. It was recorded on a boombox, so the sound quality is what they used to call lo-fi. What they call lo-fi now is something else. But yes, so it sounds like a demo recording, but the songs are all really punching and evocative. And if you want to hear just one to get a taste of it, listen to Until Olympius Returns, which is a lot of fun. He wrote this during the COVID lockdowns, the early days of that, when people weren't going anywhere or standing within 20 feet of one another, and everyone was, well, where there was a lot of fear and uncertainty going on. So he didn't have his full band to perform with him, to record with him, and he wrote all these songs. The guy from the Mountain Goats writes songs very quickly, so I think it didn't take him very long to write and record these. But anyway, so I'm going to be reading that, A Chronicle of the Last Pagans by Pierre Chuvin, and that's probably enough. That's 5 books, 2 of them fairly chunky. If I get through those, that's a good month for me. And yeah, that's what I have for you today. I also was talking to my mother on the phone the other day. She told me she had started watching my channel, and that she was giving a try to The Magic Mountain, which is just delightful to me. My mom's always been a reader. Magic Mountain is a challenging book, but definitely worth giving a try. So anyway, hi Mom, if you're watching today. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. Goodbye.